all you wayward sons and daughters. Welcome back to the Winchester Report, a Southgate Media Group podcast dedicated to all things supernatural on the CW-related issues. I am Lilith, and joining me is
Jennie.
Up for discussion today is Season 11, it's Episode 9, Oh Brother, Where Art Thou? It is the mid-season finale for Season 11, so that means hiatus has officially begun. Whatever are we going to do besides cry?
Oh.
I just have to say that
let's see. Memorial episodes freak out about the fact that Santa is Satan, according to the episode preview for next month. Yes, Santa is Satan.
I always knew something was suspicious about that guy. I knew the Grinch was a good guy.
Yeah, as well as he's always spying on minors. That's jailbait, prick.
Yeah. So I couldn't put my finger on why I didn't really like this episode. Like, I like some parts of it, but like the overall like sense of it and everything being too literal on the nose. Well, guess who wrote it? Buckner and Ross Lemming. They have no flair for metaphor.
No wonder. Yeah.
I think some of the directing provided by Robert Singer saved some of the scenes, but not all of them.
Yeah.
So yeah, but at least
although I still think Robert Singer is kind of narcissistic because he named Bobby after himself.
He did. We'll get into that in the Bobby Memorial. It's not quite true. It's legal stuff, but we'll get there. He was actually kind of flabbergasted and was like, "Are we sure there's nothing else we could do?" It's a funny story, actually. I can't wait to tell it again. But yeah, Amara's like on the full like hunt for God, and then Dean and Sam like go to Crowley, and Rowena like, "Hey, we need to talk to Lucifer." And Lucifer was like, "Surprise! Bet you thought you saw the last of me." And I was so happy. I was like, "Mark Pellegrino's back! I love it."
Yes. I'm sure my friend Dana's gonna be happy about that too when she actually gets to watch it because she doesn't have cable. She only has Netflix and Hulu, so.
Oh, poor thing.
Poor thing.
Because Hulu's brutal, man. If you don't get that premium package without the commercials, it is brutal.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah. So this, like, the premise for this episode seems like a pretty good, mid-season finale topic. It's just, I can't put my finger on what went wrong and why I didn't like it as much as I should have. I do want to say that Jared Padalecki was phenomenal in this episode. It wasn't, even though it was Buckner and Ross Lemming, it wasn't as shallow as I was expecting, but it could have had a lot more depth had they given it to other writers, I think.
Yeah.
So how do you feel about our trip to hell?
Awesome. But then again, that is where I'm going to be spending eternity after I die, so...
Oh, you knock it off! Maybe if you get lucky, you'll get to do red tape with Crowley and be a bureaucrat.
Yeah.
Although
I'd like to be a sales demon.
I just want to be a crossroads demon. I don't know. It's like, I don't know how to put it. Like, okay, so I just feel so bad for Sam, I guess. Like, he's kind of always been the one that was kind of the believer in God, even before season 4 kind of came along. And it's like at every single chance, like, he's like, he had the demon blood, so he was just like this spawn of Satan, or Satan's vessel, shall we say, and all these things. And like at every chance, like, I don't know, like, it just bites him in the butt for being a believer, and I just feel so bad for Sam.
Yeah, and then Dean's just like, God isn't gonna help us. I'm not even sure if God is real.
I don't know. And then, like, Amara, like, okay, you're God's sisters, so, like, you don't, like, maybe he's hiding where you guys used to hide when you were little, Like, I don't even know how this works, honestly. It's like, wait, if you're his sister, does that mean you guys have parents and you guys got like timeouts and were grounded? Like, I don't.
Did God ever get grounded?
I feel like he might have. In the supernatural universe, I feel like God was a really bad kid. I mean, he banished his sister for all eternity so he could create humans. Ugh, that's not a good trade.
Yeah, definitely.
Not a good decision maker, it seems.
As well as God made humans, didn't he make all the bad things in the world, like rape, murder, cancer?
Leviathans, and yeah, lots of things.
Yeah.
Well, demons technically is Lucifer's deal, but
But God made Lucifer.
exactly. So I don't know what the heck is going on in the supernatural universe where I feel sympathy for a lady who just like basically straight up murders people that were just happily worshiping. But I'm on Amara's side. I don't know why. She's full grown now, though.
Exactly why. Yeah, so now we can ship her and Dean.
Oh, my God! I do want to say that I love the Dean and Amara scenes. Like, my theory is that it's in his head. What's your theory?
Why couldn't she take his soul? Does he even have a soul?
I don't think Dean has a soul anymore. I think that was kind of glossed over in season 4. Or, yeah, when he comes back or whatever. And he's like, remember that talk they have when they're having, like, the vampire thing? And he's like, I was reconstituted and... But no! Cass can hear him pray, but then that opens up the whole Destiel thing, and that makes it kind of complicated. I don't know. I kind of had that theory that Dean's soul, like, he might have a soul, but it's, like, very little left or something.
Or a very damaged soul.
Yeah.
Like what Sam has.
Yeah. I don't know. Like, that's a good question that I don't even think the writers would think to ask themselves. So I don't want to think about it because that's a long, deep, dark rabbit hole to go down. I mean, the whole premise for like a lot of my assumptions is like season 4 and 5 when Kripke was still there, and you know season 6 was basically a soft reboot, so a lot of canon went wacky with season 6. So it's just tough to say. But I was happy to see Rowena at least.
Yeah.
She's a Lucifer fangirl, just like me.
And me! And Dana. And Leanna. And a lot of my friends. Except Carson. Carson doesn't like Lucifer.
I mean, I just like Mark Pellegrino, and I think he brings something really cool to the role. I love his meat suit backstory, too, so that's always fun. And the only thing that I really had a problem with was that he had an actual literal cage. Like, that was just way too on the nose for me.
Yeah. Like, could that have been more figurative, please?
And I'm just like, didn't it take all of everything Cass had to rescue Sam and Dean out of hell, and they're basically just like dropping in? I'm like, this just is kind of like an affront to Cass.
Well, Cass isn't a resident of hell. Crowley is.
Yeah, but even he didn't have like the actual key, because he says, obviously it was sealed by God himself, so I don't know. I just feel like angels should have had more of a workaround than, say, demons. But that's just my personal opinion.
But Crowley's like the king of hell, so.
Yeah, but he makes poor choices. I mean, he did let Amara get away when she wasn't that powerful. It's all Crowley's fault. Let's just say.
She was powerful enough to kill him, so it's not like he had a choice.
Well, he had a choice. He could have murdered her when he had the chance, but he thought that he would be suave and sophisticated enough, and that she would fall under his sway. So you know what? It's everybody's fault at this point. We've just been going in these circles of just unleashing bigger and badder monsters every single season.
Yes, it's everybody's fault except Cass.
It's always Cass's fault. I'm kidding. Where was he, by the way? Like, what is Misha doing right now?
Probably planning the next Gishwiz.
Oh, I don't know, man. I miss Castiel. Like, I just okay. I just want to
We're
put it.
picking the winner. We're picking the winner of this year's.
I don't know, but like, if we're paying for him to be a full time a full time star, I want to get my money's worth. Otherwise, we could have spent it on the budget. Like, it is a damn shame that Supernatural is the oldest show on the CW and The Flash has a better budget. They're both produced by Warner Brothers. They both have diehard rabid fans. I'm just saying, our special effects budget is something to be desired.
Yes.
That's all. That's all. It was very minimalistic, actually. I was quite surprised, actually. I don't even know what to talk about because I just didn't enjoy this episode. Like, this just, for me, I don't know, it just didn't feel like a mid-season finale.
Yeah, but it was. And that was disappointing. It's like, wasn't last year's mid-season finale so much better?
I personally think that it was. But like this should be, in my opinion, it should feel better because, like I said, all my faves were there. Amara's all grown up and all inside Dean's head, taking him to this nice, safe, serene place to seduce him. And I love the epic fail that was that stab. By the way, I think that's probably my favorite scene.
Yeah, like the knife just shatters.
I just, there's just so much to like the more that I think about it, not really a lot happened. Like, you had Sam and Dean conspiring with Crowley, and then Crowley and Rowena, and then you have Sam go do his thing with Lucifer, and Dean go do his thing with Amara, and then also the secret of, you know, Amara getting Crowley to spare Dean comes spilling out, and I'm just like, damn it, Crowley, can you let my boys just have a good relationship for 3 weeks in a row?
Crowley and his mother.
I like Rowena better when she's by herself, honestly.
Yeah. Son of a witch.
Yes, exactly. What else is there to talk about? Not really much. Oh, so Amara was the original Mark. I find that curious too.
Yeah.
What does that even mean?
I don't know.
And I'm just so confused.
Probably means that the mark like held her original powers.
Ugh. Supernatural in its biblical lore, like I
can't.
I don't know, man. And I just want to talk about the angels and how they've lost their power, and they're not intimidating, they're not scary, they're just so hapless, and it's just a bummer. Remember Zachariah? Remember Uriel? Like, those are the kind of angels that I even Anna to an extent, or Naomi, like, or, you know, like, definitely Anna. Like, oh my god.
Yeah.
Love Anna. I just miss those really good, well-rounded, fleshed out angels who actually were interesting and actually tried to get their job done. These angels are just like, flounder every chance we get. I don't know, man. I just...
Yeah. Canon. Why you constantly change?
Because we had such a flux of writers in our show Bible. After Eric Kripke left, they felt like it was up for grabs and they could do what they wanted, basically. I think, personally, is my going theory about that. That's really all that I can talk about. I mean, like I said, not much actually really happened for a mid-season finale. Like, you knew Amara wasn't going to die regardless of the knife shattering or not, because she is the season-long big bad. So I just don't feel like there were any stakes with this.
Lucifer.
I didn't feel like there were stakes for that either because I feel like if they would have had Sam say yes, that would have been just the huge that there would have been so much backlash and so much loss of character growth and all these things that they just couldn't do it. Do you know what I mean?
They could have. It's actually, I honestly wouldn't have minded that for a couple episodes.
You wouldn't have mind having all that
But
character
then
growth of Sam's gone, really?
No, I wouldn't mind like Lucifer getting some more character growth.
I could understand.
Because we haven't seen him since forever, really.
I don't know. I mean, they did give Jared Padalecki stuff to work with, and I'm grateful. But like I said, it just felt like a little hollow. Like they didn't go that extra. They didn't put in that extra effort. So I just don't think you should ever let Buckner and Ross Lemming write a mid-season finale. Is I guess the summation of my the thing that I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
Or a premiere. Or at all, if I had my way, honestly. So anyway, is there anything else you want to talk about? Anything you found interesting?
Well, that all the good characters are there, and just like and then stuff did happen, but I feel like nothing happened.
Yeah, we're spinning our wheels for some unknown reason. Do you think maybe they introduced Amara too early?
No.
Like the darkness would have been fine, but like actual Amara, and now they're kind of stuck.
I feel like if they just introduced her as an adult that early, it would have been like way too early, but allowing her to age was actually a pretty good decision.
Okay. I just like I said, I just can't put my finger on why we're spinning our wheels. Like all the pieces are there, and like it's a mid-season finale. Usually somebody dies. That's kind of the trend of Supernatural. So I'm kind of glad that we kind of sort of avoided that.
I actually like kind of. Why did nobody die?
I don't even know. Like, I haven't even checked the boards to be honest about what a lot of people thought about it. But I'll be curious. Like, I'll talk about that probably the next time that when we do our first in memoriam episode or whatever. But
yeah.
Twitter didn't like have anything bad to say, so like usually they're always in an uproar over something. So I think that they kind of came off unscathed with it all by not having anybody die. But at the same time, Twitter activity is, it's always nice, whether it's good or bad. At least they're talking about your show, I guess. Yeah. All right, let's get to the review. Favorite character.
Satan.
Only on Supernatural, I swear. Only on Supernatural.
Only on Supernatural do 13-year-old girls obsess over Satan.
Well, at least it's not Hannibal, where you're obsessing over being a cannibal.
Yeah.
Like I said, definitely Sam is the number one spot for me. I really enjoyed what they attempted to do with the character. Of course, I love Mark Pellegrino. I like everything that he gave to the character of Lucifer. Yeah. Those are my two picks of the night. Favorite scene?
That's a hard one. I'd have to say it's a tie between like Dean and Amara, like when he tries to kill her but he can't, and Sam and Lucifer in the cage.
I think my favorite scene is actually Crowley and Sam talking about the cage, and all those things. I thought that that was like some really good character interaction between the two. We haven't really seen something very civil between those two without Dean as a buffer, and I find that kind of interesting in and of itself. I also love one of the opening scenes where after Sam has the dream and Dean's like, "Come on, a burning bush, dude, really?" I like that they tried to give this episode a little humor, though it felt a little flat. But I was thinking the same damn thing. So yeah. Do you have any favorite lines? Do you think stick out to you?
Oh, the bunk buddies thing. Yeah. And then again, I just kind of like that because it's a reference to a few seasons ago. Remember that, people?
Yes, exactly. I think my favorite line is Lucifer. Together again. Hey, Sam Winchester, miss me? I bet you did. I have to say, you're extraordinarily calm given the circumstances.
To be fair, I would be too.
I'm so proud of, like, I just can't even reiterate this though. I'm so proud of Sam for saying no. Like, oh God, so much character growth just in that simple statement. The boys have got to grow up and learn lessons eventually, and I'm just glad that Lucifer is the beginning of that.
I'm just glad that Lucifer is back.
Definitely. Let's see, did you notice any pop culture references or cultural references or historic references?
No, but then again, I tend to pay more attention to plot than look out for those references. I only look out for those references when I rewatch episodes. Something that I don't do until the entire season is out, and then I just binge it all in the course of 2 days.
Oh wow. Yeah,
Yeah.
I rewatched the episode like I try to 2 to 3 times before I talk about it, so I can have an actual like firm grasp about how I feel and why I feel that way. Because sometimes you have that like first visceral reaction when you first watch it, and then I like need to calm down and come back. So that's usually when I notice like all the references, or unless it's like blatant, like say Kanye West, which they referenced in this episode. And they also did an Entourage reference, and I'm just like, why are you guys so obsessed with HBO shows? When he said, when Lucifer asked Sam if he wanted to hug it out, that's Ari Gold's line from Entourage, which I loved, but the movie was garbage. They also made a reference to Abraham Lincoln, like random. That was so random.
Yeah.
This is actually the first episode of season 11 where the Impala doesn't make an appearance, and I was like, first of all, how dare you? I was so pissed. Gotta have baby in every episode.
Come on. Like, how many episodes besides this don't have baby in it?
This is like the first one, but after what was it, the Leviathan season where they had to put baby up or whatever. Oh, I said don't ever do that again. She has to be in every single episode. That was so torturous to go through the POS of the week car. Like I just couldn't even. So like I get antsy when I don't see baby because of that. I have a little bit of PTSD.
Yeah. That was actually like the only bad part of that season 7 in my opinion.
There were a few more things. Hashtag Spice Girls. Hashtag Amy Pond. But yeah, this is one of the biggest ongoing.
I loved season 11.
Oh God, what else did they make a reference to?
No, it's season 7.
Yeah, season 7.
Yeah, but I do like season 11 so far too.
I do too, and I actually really loved the title, and I'm surprised that we hadn't used "Oh Brother, Where Art Thou." Of course, there is a reference to the 2000 adaptation of Homer's The Odyssey by the Coen brothers. Great movie with George Clooney. It's a little quirky, but it's a Coen brothers production, so of course it was gonna be. I'm just really surprised we haven't used that title before. Shocking. So anyway, there was no music in this episode. Very little scoring. I guess to amp up the tension. But like I said, they had a really minimalistic approach to a lot of these scenes and stuff. So it's just like, I don't know if that was
and
just like
literal approach.
Yo, yes. It must be awkward as a director to have your wife write something and you want to change something, and then you know if you do, you're gonna hear about it at home.
Oh my god.
Just saying, that must be awkward. Anyway, what would you give this episode as a grade?
8. Would be a 7 or a 6, but we got Lucifer, so that automatically moves it up about 2 points.
It's okay if you have fangirl reasons. It's totally okay. For me, this is a 6.5. This is the disastrous mid-season finale. Mid-season finales are meant to keep your fandom going over your long break. But the break is shorter than usual, right?
Yeah, so that's a good thing. It's only about a month.
Yeah. So that's...
But that means we only get to do 4 memorials. I was actually kind of planning on 6.
Me too, actually. But so we're definitely going to do Bobby. We'll definitely do Charlie, Kevin. And if you guys want to weigh in on who should be the 4th, you can send an email to the Winchester Report at gmail.com.
Yeah. All of my friends are saying that we should do Ash, but we haven't really seen... Ash was like...
3 episodes?
Yeah. It's not worth
we can
it
just do we can do the Roadhouse. Everybody at the Roadhouse we can talk about, I guess.
Oh, yeah, the
Roadhouse. So
Ellen,
Joe, Ash. Yeah. We could do that. We could do RIP Roadhouse crew.
Yes. That's what we're calling that episode, and that's the one we're doing next week.
Oh, okay. I'll spend all this weekend researching all that stuff. Okay, we'll do the RIP Roadhouse episode next week. Look forward to that, guys, as per requested by Jennie. Do you have any fanfic or fan art you would like to share?
No, because I was too busy freaking out about the fact that, one, a friend of mine's groundation has been extended because they decided to sneak onto their DeviantArt. So I had to cancel my holiday party.
Oh.
Thank you, boyfriend.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear about that. I don't have any either, but I will have over the hiatus. Obviously, we have some extra time, so... Yeah, if you're an artist or a writer of fanfic for Supernatural, please be sure to send in your emails to thewinchesterreport@gmail.com, or you can leave a link on the facebook.com Winchester Report. So yeah, I guess it's time for shameless plugs.
So you can find me on Twitter at queer_llamacorn. You can find me on Tumblr at mythicalsuperpans22. You can't exactly find me on Wattpad that much anymore because I deleted the app from my phone for storage. But if you really want to look me up on a website that I'm only on every 1.5 months, that's queen_of_squoose. And then, if my phone will let me exit out, my Instagram is jolly_Twitter_girl81. And the 81 is a Southgate Media Group reference.
As for me, you guys can find me on Twitter at Lilith Hellfire. You can find me on Tumblr. It's lilithhellfire.tumblr.com. I also have a website. Yeah, you guessed it. lilithhellfire.com. I'll be doing a couple of road so fars for different shows, mainly CW shows. So if you're into the CW, be sure to stay tuned for that. If you are still into iTunes, please be sure to rate, review, and subscribe to us there. We're also on Stitcher. We're also on Lisbon. So pretty much any podcatching service that you can think of, we're there. So rate, review, subscribe, and please remember to download the episodes because streaming usually does not count. Also, if you still are on iTunes, please be sure to check out Southgate Media Group's provider page to see the hot trending shows and episodes that we have in our network. And if you like what you see there, head over to southgatemediagroup.com to check out our list of 80 plus and always growing podcasts. We also have blogs, and you can find out about the hosts and what Southgate Media Group as a whole is up to. So we hope you enjoyed this edition of the Winchester Report. This has been Lilith.
And this is Jennie.
And this is the Winchester Report, signing off.